Oh, you got two! Oh, one of them's nice!
That one is good.
Dude! I think I have. Oh, I do! Yes! Let's freaking go! Oh, I'm about to get 8. Yep, I am 8. What is up, folks? Welcome back to another video. Today we are at a trophy bass lake that I actually haven't been to in a long time. It's probably been months. But we got the main man, Logan, fishing right there with that crispy MTB hat on.
Oh, yeah.
What color are those sunglass frames, by the way? What color is that?
Maybe like amber or something?
Yeah, those things are kind of tight. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know if I've ever seen that color before. Pretty cool. But yeah, we got Logan Anderson fishing with us today. He's gonna hop in the boat, do some fishing with us. Now, what we're trying to do today is what we try to do every day, but I think we're gonna have a chance to actually do it today. That is catch a big bass. Now, if you guys have ever seen me fishing this lake before, there's a ton of shad and there's a ton of big bass that chase those shad, which brings me to what we're gonna be trying to catch the big bass with. That's gonna be this bad boy right here, the old Alabama rig. Now, believe it or not, the last video I did where I caught that giant catfish on accident with an Alabama rig, there were a ton of comments of people who kind of wanted me to explain the rig a little bit. I don't think they'd ever seen it. Now, I'm not gonna go into a super in-depth, boring thing, but what you basically got here, where's that bag? Hey, throw me that bag, Logan. There's a cup, there's one that's not done yet. So you're gonna get one of these, right? This is the Alabama rig with nothing on it. It's rubber banded together. That's what it starts to look like. So you take the rubber band off, you're gonna put little jig head hooks like these guys. You're gonna get a bunch of jig heads, little hooks, and you're gonna put them on each little clamp, right? Each little, I don't even know what those things are called. And then you're gonna take whatever swim bait you wanna use. These are saucy swimmers, but you can use whatever you want. You can use whatever colors you want. And then you've just got basically an umbrella of little bait fish lookalikes. And this kind of lure really excels in the fall, and it really excels in places where there is shad, and that's what the bass normally eat in this lake. So Logan's got one tied on too. We're just gonna chuck it around. We may throw some other lures too. We're not gonna limit ourselves to just one lure. But I think if we get a big bite today, it's gonna be on the A-rig. Guys, if you like these fishing videos, make sure you're smashing the thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Let's get in the boat in the water. Let's catch a donkey.
Bite.
Did you?
Yeah, right on the bank. That's where they were hanging when I pulled up. So.
Wow. Well, I'm sure there's some little ones shallow, you know, like there always is, but... Ooh, I just got bumped too.
Oh, I'm on.
Oh, shoot! Oh, man, I just got bumped like 3 times on that cast.
Bass in the pond.
Dude, that is a squeaker. Holy moly. But I think the A-rig
He got 2 of them, so, you know.
2 of them?
Oh, yeah, you got 2.
He's a greedy little guy. Yeah, I just got bit twice coming through the same exact area.
Wow, so tiny. Smallest one in the pond, I feel like, but first one of the day. It's crazy because those little ones are like so aggressive right now.
I got one chasing my A-rig right now. I can't wait to snipe one of these guys on the live scope and just like be able to watch them and then just cast right at them. I know on a day like today is when it could happen, when you got them already kind of hyped up, fired up. Got him. I lost him. So I sniped that guy. So I was literally coming over his head on live scope. Oh, and he's on another tiny
little guy.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work through some squeakers today. But I literally just said I wanted to no scope one today on live scope. I just did. I went right over his head, and see when I'm a couple feet above him, sometimes I'll just kill it and let it fall on top of him, and man, he like got really upset that those bait fish decided to get that close to him. So man, holy moly, that's three fish on less than 5 minutes. Now they are small, so we're gonna have to do some weeding out of these little guys. Very interesting. Of course, mine got hit a few times too. I think it's more about just putting it in that right spot, but yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, this one followed it up a few times and then finally committed on it.
Ooh. That feels better. Yeah, there we go. Now. And this is one thing you got to be careful with an A-rig, because there's 4 other hooks that are not in his mouth. So I like to secure the top of the A-rig with that right there, and then get me a grab in and move the hooks over to the side like that. Or else you just got a fish just slinging 4 other sharp hooks at you. And he went for the big one too. I've got one big swim bait in the middle, and the bottom one basically. And I always put a bigger one on that one. So a little 2-pound fish, nothing crazy. Tummied up though, he's very healthy. They've definitely been eating shad. Logan's on again, any size? No? So there's just a school out there probably, most likely. And that's how lakes like this will get in the fall, is there will be schools of bass. So when you're on them, you're really on them. And when you're not on them, it seems like there's no bass in the lake. But wow, that's a very, very encouraging sign for us today, that if we keep at this long enough, a big one should just eventually happen.
Little ones have just been chewing on it, but every time I pull them up, they have like the whole swim bait in their mouth.
Yeah. I just got bit like 50 times. I just got bit. I saw a bunch of them suspended out there. First of all, look at how my dude ate that. Okay, that my man's is hungry right there. There's definitely a school of bass out there. Now this ain't the size for sure. God, he wanted it so bad. Wow, it's gonna be a freaking A-rig type of day, eh? Guys, real quick, let's see if I can break this down for you in like 1 minute or less before I get another bite. But equipment that I use for a rig like this, it does kind of take some specific equipment, which is the only downside of it really, besides the fact that it's huge. You need a heavier rod. There's really no way around that. This is obviously a Guggen muscle rod, so that's equivalent to like a 7'3" heavy power, fast action. And then I use straight braid, probably something like 50 pounds, but you could use some really heavy fluoro if you wanted to, but I'm just a big braid guy in this scenario. And yeah, that's pretty much it. A wide spool reel is helpful, so you can put a lot of line on there and really chuck this thing. But other than that, I mean, setting up the A-rig is the most tedious part, because it'll take you a few minutes to rig up all those hooks and baits. But as you guys can see, it can pay huge dividends. Oh man, I just got freaking shellacked. Oh my God.
Holy, took a hook.
Broke off.
Wow.
One of my rigs. That just happened. Never seen that happen before. Wow. I guess the A-rig can still work. I could just bend the wires a different way, but holy smokes. Now I'm pretty sure that was a fish. I mean, I was watching on live scope. I came right past the tree. I don't think I hit the tree because I was off to the side of it. But good Lord, I just got rocked by something.
This is the area where you caught that sit.
Yeah, man, I was just thinking this is right where I caught the biggest bass I ever caught out of this lake before. It's right out here in these trees with an A-rig last year about this time. So that may have been my chance. I may have blown it. Oh, you got 2! Oh, one of them's nice.
That one is good.
Dude,
Oh
get him
my
in the
God.
boat, bro.
This is my first time catching 2 on an A-rig.
Dude, that's freaking crazy. I've never done it either. Dude, you want the
gosh.
net?
Yeah, that one is kind of big.
Yeah, those are...
Just with my A-rig.
Oh, dude,
That is
nicely
crazy.
done. Dude, that's a 3.5 pounder, maybe more right
This
there.
is going to be so much fun to get them all out.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm going to let you deal with that. I'm going to get back into school because I have never caught 2 fish on one lure either. That feels good. That feels really good. Oh, I think I had 2. Oh, I do! Yes!
Whoa.
Let's freaking go! My first time ever doing that. Yes! Oh my God, let me get you because you're calmer. Oh, you got hooked on the head. My dude got hooked, foul hooked on the head. Sorry about that, buddy. So when I set the hook on him, it must have like also grabbed this dude by the head. Let me see if I can get this guy too. Oh, he's wild. Stop it. Stop it. Oh my goodness. Yes, never done that before. 2 fish, 1 lure. Now this guy's pretty much a squeaker, but it's my biggest fish of the day. Probably a 2 1/4 pounder right there. Yes. Dude, I was thinking the whole time I set the hook and I was like, oh my God, it's either a really big one or it's 2. So either way I was excited, but wow, that's 2 doubles, dude. Logan, that's 2 doubles in like 5 minutes. That's like quadrupling up in effect. That's pretty crazy. We've been out here for like 30, 40 minutes. So, God, the possibilities today are just endless. We've already both done something we've never done before. If we could catch a big one or somebody could break a PB or something, this day could go from really awesome to magical. Well, guys, we're kind of a weird spot now in the video. So we've been out here for about 2 hours now. And the first 30 minutes was just mayhem. I mean, fish after fish. And since then, things have really slowed down, as you guys have seen. It's probably as simple as the fish are stacked up in deep water. That's where they're schooling up. That's where all the bait are. And we've kind of just done a real good little search area of the entire pond. But we've gone into some shallow areas, gone to some areas where I'm not seeing as much bait. So I'm assuming that's why the bite has died off. So I think we need to head back to the deep water and try to find those schools again. 'Cause I just think that's the only way we're gonna catch a big one. So stay tuned. We're not gonna end this video on not catching the fish. We're gonna end it with the most exciting or the biggest bass possible. That's the plan. Oh, I'm doing it, boys. I'm putting it up. I'm putting it up. I think the night's over just like that. I think I'm gonna slim shake things up a little bit. Because that's what I do when I have a hard time getting the bites. I throw the freaking slim shake worm. And the thing just doesn't fail. Does not fail. God, I feel so much better than reeling that Alabama rig. So much lighter. Easier to cast. Come here, buddy. Man, I'm just saying, look, if you're struggling for a bite, grab your local friendly neighborhood slim shake worm. The thing, it just, I don't know what else to tell you. Watermelon red. Now, it's not like this is a giant or anything, but we just went like an hour I just went like an hour without catching a fish on the A-rig. And I throw that at the same brush piles that I was dragging the Alabama rig over and get a bite that quick. So that kind of lets you into my mindset of why I love the slim shake so much. Or as Badge would call it, the shaky snake. Oh, I just broke off. Oh, ooh, just got hit again in that brush pile right there. And just broke off. Gosh darn it, that may have been the big one right there. He was in a brush pile, made a really good cast, broke that joker clean. Well, I think we know what we need to do now, kids. We need to go straight shaky snake mode. Rig up a couple Texas rigs, pick this lake apart, slow things down a little bit. I know that's not what you guys want to hear, but we're gonna fast forward to our next good fish. Stay tuned. Brush pile, anybody home? Yep, there sure was. Man, that is fun. You gotta get you some live scope on your boat, Logan. It is just, yeah, man. Right there, there was a brush pile that I would have never seen. I mean, unless you just scan the lake all day with your side scan, which is not fun. But I can just see that thing in real time. Right, I mean, it was right in front of the boat too. We're sitting right on top of it. That's the crazy part. Got my worm right in it, and then just popped it once. And you know, if there's one fish on that brush pile, it was worth it. All right, little guy, once again. Yee! That's not the fish we were supposed to fast forward to. I apologize. That is crazy. What is that? That's the skinniest bass. I'm glad I did not catch him. That was the skinniest bass I've ever seen. That was crazy. I made a cast. I landed on top of a stick. And so I tried to like shake it off of the stick, but it was already in a fish's mouth. So he like pulled back on the other end of the stick. That was kind of crazy. Turns out, world's smallest bass. Nothing to see here. Oh, I'm about to get 8. Yep, I am 8. I called that one. That was the craziest. God, live scope. I know I talk about it all the time. It's just so cool. It's literally it's a fishing video game in real life. I was scanning around, and there's a few trees up above the water that you can see, but there's a few more that you can't even see that are below the surface. So this little guy right here, there was one out here that I saw, casted at it. I watched my lure fall around the backside of the brush pile, and I saw a little blob go over to it. I was like, oh, here we go. And that's how it happens. Is we haven't been able to see that until now. But you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. When you make a cast at a tree or something, you let it sit for 3 seconds and you go to take out the slack and work the lure, and a fish has already got it. That's what just happened, but I got to watch it in real time. Freaking amazing. Oh, Logan, we just can't get this tiny fish bug out of the boat, man. Oh, he's been eating. My man has been eating here, and there's no doubt about that. He is tummied up, as our good friend Ayo likes to say. They're just not very big. They just don't have a lot of, you know, whatever you want to call it. They got the will, they've got the want to be a big bass one day, but just not there yet. I mean, we made the only lure strategy decision that we could have. You know, we put down the lure that wasn't working, we picked up something that is now working. The only problem is we seem to be going backwards in regards to size. So unless we get lucky, we may have come to the end of the rope. Worm. One got it. He feels okay. Wow. That's a decent one for me. Look at this guy. Did not fight at all. What a man. Look at the tummy on that guy, dude. Holy smokes. That guy is tummied up right there. Holy moly. So the reason my man's has got such a tummy right there, see if you can focus on his gullet. You see that tail right there? Oh my gosh. There's a tail in his mouth. Probably a big shad or just a bluegill or something. Holy moly, he is tummied up. He's good. Had to give him a little head tap, but he's good. Whew. Man, that was crazy. I actually missed where I was casting. I was casting at a little tree out there that I saw on live scope. I kind of missed the tree on the backside of it, but then I saw a blob swim over to the worm, so I was like, let me just let it sit there for a minute and see what happens. I'd say that worked out okay. All right, folks, we're wrapping it right here. Make sure to go check out Logan Anderson Fishing, his channel. This is his lake, so thanks to him for hosting us. Dude, we both doubled up on A-rigs, though.
That's crazy.
That's kind of cool.
It was like kind of close together, you know?
I would say that's as close to a quadruple up as you can get, because that happened within like 5 minutes of each other. So that was definitely the highlight of the day for me. I mean, I've always wanted to catch 2 fish on 1 lure, and I mean, Alabama rig probably gives you the best chance of doing that. Now there's probably like some treble hook baits that have done it before too, but for my money, I'm saying A-rig, you know, that's gonna get you a double bite like that. Had such a good time. Caught a bunch of fish, a bunch of different ways. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much. I am out of here.